A very good morning to all of you. We at Remarkable Education are committed to bringing to you information on varied career options available today. Our webinars are presided over by the industry experts, leading faculties, subject matter experts, alumni, and others. This is a fun and interactive forum where we try to provide information and address your queries in the best possible way. I welcome you all to yet another exciting webinar on Career in Conference Tourism, MICE. Our special guest for today's webinar is Chandrasekhar sir. Our first speaker for today's webinar is Mr. Nidhish Rathi, Lifafa Tech Services Private Limited, New Delhi, Regional Head North, an alumni of IITTM Noida with an overall experience of more than 9 years in sales, MICE, which stands for Meetings, Incentives, Conferencing, and Exhibitions. Having worked in companies like Make My Trip, FCM, Japan Travel Bureau, he has a very sound knowledge of all the aspects of travel industry operations, business development, marketing promotion, key account management, client servicing, contracting, vendor management, and team management as well. Our second speaker for today's webinar is Ms. Ankita Devnath, faculty at IITTM Noida. She has been contributing a lot to the tourism department in volunteer experience or leadership. She has been involved in reviving the heritage of India, which was presented in international seminar on heritage and tourism Agra. She was also involved in rural tourism. Then she was also involved in state tourism slogans of India and presenting a topic on e-visa as well. A very warm welcome to sir and ma'am. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to ask Mr. Nidhish, sir, can you please help our students to understand the skills required for this particular field? I'll take up the question to ma'am. Can you please take up the question for me?
Yeah, so the skills that are required in, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, so event industry, first of all, is a very vast kind of industry, which is an amalgamation of different sectors. There are a lot of things that go on to make an event happen. It is not a simple process. It is a mixture of a lot of process. So somebody who is managing events or who is planning certain kind of events has to be a master of, none but jack of all trades, in simple sentence. So there are certain skill sets that an individual must possess so that they can excel in the industry. So first is that they should be very क्या बोलते हैं, they should have great organization skills, because they need to organize a lot of different things. They need to see the venue, they need to see the marketing of the event, they need to make sure the marketing is good, the invitation is good, the decoration at the venue is good. They have to take care of the food and beverage services, the performance that are going to happen in the event industry, then simple basic necessities like security, parking, so a lot of things are needed to organize an event, to make an event happen. So first skill that you need to have, organization skills. So the upcoming students, if they think that they are somebody at their home or in his college or classes that organize or take care of everything, if you think you are that person जिसके पास people go to see कि ये है, ये problem है, या इसको कैसे organize करना है, so then this is for you. Then the second skill that you need is time management, obviously, because it is time bound. Agar ek event, if there's an event that is 6 months down the lane or 2 months down the lane, you cannot leave things to the last minute. You need to start planning and divide the time accordingly so that you are not late. Then you need to have good technology skills, and especially in today's time where we are having a lot of virtual events. So technology is something that you should be very comfortable with, because there are a lot of softwares, there are a lot of apps and programs that you might need to use to organize the event or to manage all the quantum of work that you have. then you should be able to manage your stress. Because just say, you, even if you plan a simple birthday party at a home, it is a lot of things can happen, can go wrong. So you should be able to, manage your stress and have a problem solving attitude. Just not present the problem, but try to have a solution for it. Then there are certain skill sets, like you need to be multitasker and you need to have a creative thinking. You should be able to see a blank room and visualize where can we put the stage, where can we put this training, or if you are given a topic or an industry, how to present the event. So you need to have a little bit of creative thinking, because events are something where people go to, enjoy, to have memories, to have experience. So it has to be very creative, it has to be very innovative each and every time. So these are certain sets that a person need to have, and I'm sure the other guest, Mr. Nidhish, would also like to add something to it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As you rightly said, the world of events is evolving. I mean, if you look at the industry, there are new changes and trends coming up, and technology has become a boon for all of us. So it is just taking on, I mean, there is no way that human intervention is not required, but at the same time, when you look at it from the technological perspective, it is a boon for all of us. It helps us out in many ways. So first is what I would say is, to the technological side, I mean, you should be tech savvy, at least the basics. And then other is the communication skills. Able to, I don't say, when I say communication skills, it doesn't really matter that it is just you need to have a flair over any language. Even if it is, I mean, you should be very clear. You should be able and vocal. What do you want to convey? The third is the leadership skills, because in events you will have to work with large teams. And similarly comes along with this team management. You need to manage your teams. You need to be a team player rather than an individual. You need to work in large groups. So you need to be a team player as well. So if you have all of this, and the last thing that I would say is problem solving or a situation handling skills, because you'll have to be on your toes many times. And honestly, trust me, situation handling is something that no one teaches you. It is something that you learn, you inherit, and you grow by it. So I would say this is something that if we have this, definitely the world is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, both the speakers. So I would like to ask you both, how would you describe this field? Like, what does MICE stand for, theoretically and on the basis of the real life experience you guys have? So, ma'am, would you like to present us the theoretical meaning, and then Mr. Nitish, would you like to throw some light on the real life experience about MICE as well?
Okay, so MICE industry, as we say it, it stands for meeting, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. So these are basically kind of events that happen for a business. They are more of a corporate kind of events that businesses organize or host for various purposes. Nowadays, a lot of businesses are investing into corporate events. That's why this industry is growing, because this is the best way for the business, for a company to interact, engage, and retain their customers, and as well as to strengthen their bonds with the employees. So in the my section, when we have meetings, so a lot of things go on in a business. So you need to have a lot of meetings. You can have a one-to-one meeting, a small conference room meetings, and in this global world where the companies are opening businesses all over the world. There are, like, if we talk about India, so many foreign companies are coming to India, so many Indian companies are going abroad, so they need to have meetings always. So sometimes they do virtual meetings through video conferencing and all, but not all decisions can be taken like that. So they need to have face to face meetings also. So the first M stands for the meetings. It could be a simple employee manager meeting, it could be board of director meeting, it could be a meeting with the shareholders, it could be a meeting between two tech giants, two big companies. So these are meetings. Then you have the I, that stands for incentive travel. Now, incentive travel is, as the name suggests, is a travel that is given as an incentive. It is given to employees. It is given to your, retailers or your people who are working towards the sales of your company, who are bringing business to your company. So, what businesses do? They give an incentive to people who are bringing them business by giving them a target. Like, if you give us a business of this much crores or this much lakh, you will be given an incentive travel. So hota kya hai, this helps the people who will get the incentive get motivated. They get motivated that I should do this much sales, I should bring this much business, so that they are able to take that incentive travel. So basically a group of people, it could be a group of employees, it could be a group of retailers, they come together and they go on a group travel to a destination where they have fun filled activities also, and they have a business activities also, like telling about the new products, about the new things coming up in the business. So that is incentive travel. Then you have conferences. Conferences are the gathering of people where people come together to talk about researches or to talk about a common topic. So a lot of risk conferences happen world over on various topics. Each and every industry in the world, each and every academic field in the world has conferences. You might be having some conferences in your schools and colleges if you are the students currently studying. So what people do in these conferences, they come together, they present research papers, or sometimes there are product launches or new innovations that are coming up. So people come together to learn about new things or to discuss about new things. So you can have small conferences from ranging from 50 to 100 to 200 to 1000 packs also. They are of both national and international level. The last E is exhibitions. Exhibitions and trade shows are places, are venues where new products are displayed, where people can sell their products, have business ties, showcase their products to the prospective customers or to other businesses for B2B connections. So exhibitions are basically used for sales promotion, marketing, and networking. So these are the four broad categories of business events that happen: meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. These are all corporative in nature, in the sense they are all hosted or organized by the businesses, and they help in the promotion of the business, growth of sales and marketing, things like that. And this industry is booming because businesses need to engage with their customers, engage with their employees, have loyalty from their customers and employees. And events are something which create memories. You have experiences, so whenever you go somewhere, you remember the people you went with, the fun you had at that event, the things you saw, the photos you clicked. So that helps in engaging with that brand, with that company, both from the perspective of the employee and from the perspective of the customers. So that is the basic theory behind the MICE concept, the corporate events that we have, and the basic definition that I can tell you right now. If there are any questions related to just MICE की theory में क्या है, I'll answer it later.
Sure. So heading over to you, Mr. Nidhish, can you tell us about your real life experience about this particular sector of tourism industry?
Yes, definitely. Having been in the industry for close to 10 years now, see, MICE is something which has taken the travel industry by storm. As MICE stands for meeting, incentives, conference or conventions, and exhibitions. If let me throw some statistics, some stats for you. Globally, it is estimated that MICE market stands at $808 billion, and India has occupied around $2 billion. So you can imagine the growth that India stands for. Every one of us knows about the metro cities. I mean, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. And you must have also heard about places, people who were there in IT, or anyone who you have heard about Bangalore, Hyderabad. Everywhere we have conference halls. You must have, I mean, as a student, you must have been to hotels and places where you have seen conference halls. But do you know there are upcoming places like Varanasi, like Udaipur? Even recently, we have a new conference and convention center, Maharaja Chhatrisal Conference Hall, that has been inaugurated by ministry in Khajuraho. So you can imagine the size that the industry is growing up to. It is estimated that year on year we might experience a CAGR of around 8%. And trust me, this is the only industry which also carries along with its allies. When I say allies, you imagine if there is a MICE event happening, or let me say a very small example, the like BA students, if you must have seen that during the wedding season, which is also a part of MICE, that is small event, you must have experienced all the transport facilities are booked, all there are no rooms available, and then there are other the roads are crowded. So you can experience the allies and the other industries that are gaining from MICE. Now coming back to the business side of it, healthcare is alone a sector which is like acting as a driving engine, the pharma industry. So pharma industries, they do large number of conferences, and trust me when you talk about any industry, be it an MNC or an Indian company, they have a huge chunk of their budgets for events because they also want to educate the people. When I say people, they want to educate the doctors, they want to educate the upcoming people, they want to educate their employees, motivate their employees, induce sales. So pharma industries have a pharma, and the other sector is BFSI. They have a separate team, separate employees, which is called R&R, that is rewards and recognition. So R&R team is there in the industries, which their core focus is to conduct events, to have tourism, and so you can imagine the size looking at the stats of it, upcoming cities like that. So it is, and trust me when I say there have been another shocking thing. I mean, you would be surprised to hear that there is a group of 1,800 people to Dubai in the month of February, which has been carried on by a leading travel agency. So 1,800 people traveling to Dubai. We ourselves in my career, I have carried a group of around 4,500 people to Amsterdam, which is called incentive tourism. So companies have huge budgets, 5,000 people to Thailand in one go. So that travel is something which has been there since ages, and it is growing to grow by leaps and bounds. Thank you.
Very well said, sir, and very informative as well. Now, moving on, I would like to introduce our special guest, uh, whose name is Dr. Chandrasekhar, who is a placement officer in IITTM Gwalior. Sir, I would like to ask, is there any eligibility criteria or an entrance exam for admission there or for this particular course? Sir, we would like you to unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Ans. Um, Myself is Dr. Chandrasekhar Barua. I am faculty in Gwalior, IITTM. It's a headquarter. And my colleague, Dr. Ankita, she's from Noida. We have also centers in Malaysia City, in South Nellore, and Goa. So all these five places we announce at central, entrance examination. We already are accepting the application online for admission in BBA, Tourism and Travel, and post-graduation degree, that is MBA in Tourism and Travel Management. So now students can apply online. We conduct one very simple entrance test to get admission, and that is an objective type based questions. In generally there are 100 objective type questions. They cover general knowledge, current affair, English grammar, part of reasoning, and then after they are called for one day for GD and PI, group discussion and personal interview. Both the exams, that is one day conducted. Then after, admissions are offered as per their interest of their study center or nearby located on the basis of merit. Once again, 5 locations MBA is offered, and 4 locations, that is BBA Tourism and Travel, not in Goa, I mean. Because now, as already my colleague already explained you a lot about this industry, because somehow we can say travel and tourism industry, or you can also add one more word, that is hospitality industry, because Government of India, Ministry of Tourism, they already give a status of industry. So this is going very fast, because this is we considered as a new concept of MICE or conference tourism. One part we are talking, because of the services which we are providing are of a travel agent. Because here important is that people, those who are going for this MICE activity, we can say, once again I am repeating, M for meetings, I for incentive, C for either conference or convention, E for exhibition. That means you are in a big number, Mr. Nidhi's already explained you many thousands of people they are traveling. So this time we can see the business in a very large volume. You required once again big transportation. Sometimes you are going to book international airlines in a bulk. Maybe you are going to book domestic airlines. Sometimes you are going to book entire train. One particular place before you have a big study to identify good number of hotels because you require good number of rooms to stay, not for one night. It start minimum 3 up to 5 nights. So I can say a place like Goa, which developed a lot because there are many big hotels and big MICE convention centers. As Mr. Nidhish recently mentioned, yes, I am the eyewitness. Few days before in Madhya Pradesh, Khajuraho place, Maharaja Chhatrasal Convention Center inaugurated. So this is not the one place. Even if we go in the past, there are a number of places in New Delhi. You can talk all the 4 metros. I mean Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai, and also later on in Gujarat, in particular Gandhinagar, number of big convention centers. Capacity is more than 1,000 people, up to 2,000. So that means once again you need good number of accommodation. You require number of coaches to transfer them maybe from the hotel to the convention center. And when people are moving from maybe one country to another, sometimes it is in the category of incentive. That means number of business houses, number of agencies, those who completed their target. So companies are interested to give them certain incentives. That means they are inviting, suppose reference country like India, they are inviting from all over India. People are from thousands in number. They are C&F agents, maybe the wholesalers. Now they are become as a member, and then after they are going not less than then they are going to abroad 5 days, 4 nights. It's a big business, volume is very high, and you can say one business that maybe for 1 week total we can say that is including of to and fro journey. It's in thousands of crores of business we can say in a year turnover when you are handling, because this business once again growing in India also. Number of foreign companies they're coming to us. Even many Indian companies are going abroad. So now once again I'm saying when you are studying the basic graduation program, that is Bachelor's Business Administration, once again with a specialization of tourism and travel, or master's degree, already there is a subject called MICE, or we can say a subject like event management, in which we are trying to introduce this industry, and which is with support of travel agents and tour operator. There is a one important organization which also works up with the support of Ministry of Tourism, that is ICPB, India Convention Promotion Bureau. So number of travel companies, number of tour operator, number of MICE travel companies, they are now the member. Leading names, maybe you heard, otherwise I would like to share a few of them, like FCM Travel Solution, Travel Corporation of India, Oni India, which is a Swiss-based company, and even number of hotel chains are jump into it because they are also handling. They have also big convention center, so they are almost complete consolidator. That means they are providing complete package, means transportation, your travel by airline, travel by train, your accommodation, all your meals. Because of sometime maybe they have their own convention halls, which capacity maybe 500, 600 or coming up to 800. For example, in New Delhi, we have a very famous ITDC hotel, India Tourism Development Hotel. That is our proud pride. That is Ashoka Hotel. So, they handle number of conference business in a year, and that gives a big revenue, not only to the hotel, to the entire tourism industry. And number of young youths, they are able to, set up their career. And because in this convention or conference business of MICE, people are reaching one day before, they are invited, or they are staying even after the convention. So there are possibility to enjoy, to do the sightseeing. We consider it like a pre-convention tour, post-convention tour. Sometimes these companies are also allowing family. That means you are traveling with your spouse, your children. So it's a really fun. And company also promoting their products. Companies also launching new product. There is a possibility of certain discussions, meetings, as already explained to you. So overall, this is one of the activity of the business, but it is very well aided with the tourism business also. So due to that, if you are pursuing a graduation in tourism or masters in tourism and travel programs, which IITTM offers you as a regular course, is very much beneficial. Thank you, sir. Over to you now.
Thank you so much, sir, and we feel honored to have you here. It was really insightful, and as soon as you introduce your courses, our students here who are, actually here listening to you are asking for a tour for the Noida campus. So we would like to show your Noida campus. The video will be shown on the screen right now. Well, wasn't this lovely? Like, I just want to be there right now. It was so beautiful. I would surely like to visit your campus one day, sir. Now, moving on, I have a question from a parent. How can the online events which you mentioned right now outwit this pandemic? Like, can they really outwit this pandemic right now? And isn't the country suffering from it, but virtual events can do for it? Like, can virtual events, fulfill the gap? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is happening right now is we have a lot of virtual events that are happening, online events that are happening. Obviously, it will never match up to the excitement or the experience of having a face-to-face event. But currently the situation is such that we need to focus on the safety and health first. So we are having a lot of hybrid and virtual events that we have. So we have this new mode that has come up, hybrid, where a few portion of the event is conducted on the online mode and few portion of the event is conducted in a safety bubble or a bio bubble, which we can call, on the main face to face sessions. But the event industry overall is trying to experiment a lot so that they are able to withstand this pandemic that we have and have pave a way for future. For example, recently in UK, where they are having a very strict lockdown and everything, they conducted an experiment where they tested around 5,000 people for COVID test, and when there was negative COVID test, only those people were allowed to go to a music concert without any mask, without anything, and there was a condition that those people had to do a retest after 5 days of attending that fest. So they are experimenting in small levels so that they can see what would be the future, because this is true that nothing can take away from the experience that you have when you meet people. Events are social gathering, and we as humans, we need those social gatherings. Jitna bhi you can do a lot of online events, but nothing can match to the thing that face to face things happen. So the event industry 3 R's are something that always resonate with event industry: robust, responsive, and resilient. So during the corona pandemic also, all the major events that needed to happen have happened. A lot of things are happening online right now, and the industry overall globally is trying to find out ways to move forward. That's it from my side.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. As you know, not only students and parents, but there are a lot of business owners watching this live session as well. तो नीतीश सर, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, what role does networking and brand awareness play in this sector? आप प्लीज हमारे बिजनेस ओनर्स को ये बताना चाहेंगे?
Sure, sure. Thank you for this question. I will give an industry perspective to it. First of all, if you talk about mice is all about creating brand awareness. Let's talk about a marketing strategy which is called go to market, GTM. Every marketer knows about this strategy, and the aim of this strategy is to reach your target audience. Like, for example, I will give you, like, the students may relate to it. Byju's, their target audience is students, be it any stationery product, there or a pen company. Their target audience is students. So they organize many events to create brand awareness for students. So GTM is one such marketing thing, which a strategy which helps you connect with your target clientele. You also, and then important part comes here is the events, because here you can induce sales. Here doing an event for just even a 1 day can induce your sales and create brand awareness like anything. There are places where like 10,000 people can accommodate at a place in one go, and you can show your product launches. You can create an awareness with them. So it happens. I mean, there is a platform which is events which helps you out in doing that. And be it an even a virtual event, or be it event where you are physically present, it helps you out. So you talked about brand awareness, like, right? You It is just like, if you see a brand, like if you do not see a brand in the market for, let's say, a long period of time, and then you do not remember it. So the best way to create memories, to have that awareness, is something that only an event can do for you. And this is something which has been very well accepted and acknowledged by the marketers. They knew very well that we need to do it. You talk about any industry, be it in healthcare, be it automobile, be it manufacturing, engineering, textile, or anything, it's there. Now let's talk about the global perspective. Even talking about countries like India, we have events lined up for 2022 as well. And even in 2021, we have events. Then talking about the global, US, UK, China, South Korea, everywhere they have events lined up. South Korea has Built Korea, China has Phonotronics exhibition, Korea has another exhibition, US has Indus Food. So there are exhibitions and events that have been happening and will be happening to just create an awareness of their thing, and corporates are here to vouch upon the events. Thank you.
That was really well said and really informative of you, sir. So moving on to the next question. So a student is asking if, right, if she wants to enter this industry, what is the main, thing that they should keep in their mind when they are planning to enter this industry? Over to you, Ankita ma'am.
So few things that you need to understand when you are trying to enter into this industry. That first thing is that it's a people's industry. You need to be a people's person. You should be a person who likes to talk with people, communicate with people. As Nidhish said earlier, that it does not mean that you need to have a command over a certain language, be it English or Hindi. You just need to be communicative. You need to be able to present your ideas to your customers, to your hosts, and you should be able to talk with everyone, because in event industry you need to talk with CEOs, to a person who is working in the kitchen, to a person who is setting up the venue. Then you should be able to what can I say, manage time, because event is something that takes a lot of hard work and time when you are getting close to the event. So if planning for the events might start 1 year, 2 years, 6 months down the line, as depending upon the scope and size of the event. So you should be able to manage that stress and the time that is needed to be that industry. And third is you need to have a global perspective, because event is a global industry. It is not there that you will be in India and only doing events in India, because it is something where globalization plays a very crucial role. You might have audiences coming from outside. You might be doing events for in countries other than India. So you need to have a global perspective. You need to have a cross-cultural sensitization towards all people in the world, and you should be able to, you know, uh, work accordingly in every environment. So that is the basic things that you need to understand when you are trying to enter into the event industry. Thank you.
I hope that has answered your question. The next question is from a business owner. So, Mr. Nidhish, मैं पूछना चाहूँगा, when you are planning a simple event, MICE event, हमें क्या-क्या pointers पे ध्यान देना चाहिए? What should be kept in your mind when you are planning a simple event of a MICE? What are the major pointers or what are the key things which you keep in your mind when you are planning your event?
Uh, all right. Before answering this question, I will just ask a very simple. I mean, starting it with a question to the students present here. How many of you like to watch movies or watch cricket matches or anything? I mean, most of you must be watching, I'm sure. So that's an event in itself. It's in IPL, like it's a global event. There are participants who come from abroad. There are Indian players also who are engaged in it. Like similarly, if it is a Bollywood movie or even if it is a Hollywood movie, they are being the shooting is being done across the destinations. I mean, across the places. Even if a simple Bollywood movie is being shot in India, being shot in abroad, so that's there. Now coming to your question, things to be kept in mind, even if it is a simple event. The first is the purpose of the event, whether it is an entertaining or a leisure event, or whether it is to pass on a certain piece of information to the attendees. What is it? The purpose. What is the purpose of event? That should be very clear to you, because in the end, any organizer is working to solve that purpose. We are here to solve that purpose. Second is, what is the target audience? I mean, if it is the target audience is the students or they are the professionals or this is a social event, so you need to keep in mind the target audience or the attendees, we call them. Another is the budget. I am talking from the industry perspective. The planning is the major phase of planning is spent in the budget. For example, relating it to a real industry scenario is, it is an incentive event and you have an X budget. So you need to do it in X budget, because companies or organizers have a stringent budget. If, like example, you have a budget of 20 lakhs, you need to conduct an event in that 20 lakhs. And at the same time, like talking about us, the people who organize the event also have to derive profits, because we are working for a common goal. So that's there. And so these are 3 points. And another is overall the logistics, how will be there. That is the location of event. So we need to know where the event would actually be. Another sub pointers are the duration of events. So we need, and third and foremost, very important thing is manpower and technology planning. So you need to know, according to the size of events, what's the manpower required, and accordingly helping out and substituting it with the technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, Ankita ma'am, as you said, a lot of hybrid events are going on. One of our students asked us a question कि is MICE the only sector of tourism industry which can be easily managed and worked upon online, or are there other sectors as well?
uh, for tourism industry, see, there are a lot of different kind of events or tourism areas that we have. So first thing that we have in MICE is where people are interacting, so that could happen in a hybrid mode. So we just, like for example, we are having a career counseling session right now in this online mode. But if you talk about travel, so you can have virtual travel as such, where people are able to, virtually through 3D VRs have a look at feel of the destination. But it will never be able to, what can I say, compensate or replace the actual tourism that we have. So tourism in basic terms is movement of people, where people move from one destination to another. So you cannot have that in the virtual tourism. So if you talk about the travel and tourism industry as a whole, I don't think so the virtual tourism can take up what actual travel is. But in MICE or in corporate events, we have certain dimensions or certain ways where people can interact, because it needs to be a social gathering where people can interact. So we are able to interact in these hybrid modes, but we are not able to travel actually through the hybrid modes or the online travel or virtual tourism that we call. We can only have a look of the destination, we can feel or see through the movies, pictures, or virtual reality that we have. But it cannot match with the experience of going to the destination, eating the local food, or interacting with the people there.
Exactly. So we can just make the best out of it, and whatever is in our hand right now, by staying home, we can just experience by visualizing what it actually must be felt when we are there, or when we are tasting the local food or the delicacies there. Very well said,
Will
ma'am.
have to just wait this period out, because tourism is something which will never go away. Beach mein, when the cases were low, things were getting a little better. People were traveling like anything. They were like just waiting for it to be a little safe. So once everybody is vaccinated, once the things get under control, I'm sure this tourism industry will come back like anything, because everybody is just waiting. Be it inbound tourism, domestic tourism, everything will bounce back because people are just waiting. There's a concept of revenge tourism coming nowadays in countries where the vaccination process and everything is under control, where people are saying that we have waited for 1 year, 1.5 years, now it's our time to travel. So they are traveling like anything. People who had not taken vacations for 2 years, 3 years are taking vacations and traveling in their own country. So tourism is something which will never stop, because we are all social animals and we need to travel. We need to experience new things, and travel is something which adds on to our knowledge. It gives us new dimension to the life. So this
Right.
industry, though it has a setback right now, it will not stop.
Definitely, definitely. So moving on, the next question, which is there, put up by a DPS student, it's for you, Mr. Nidhish, sir. What are the roles that student can get after getting into this sector, or what are the placement options and the pay grade as well? So, do you think that a student should apply for a job first, or should start their own business maybe after they're completing, the course requirements and everything?
A very good question. I mean, this would be helpful to every participant attending this session. So thank you for asking this. I'll answer. There are three or four parts to it, so I'll answer each part separately. First is when you said what roles do you get, right? So like every industry, event industry has many options. Once you pass out, maybe a bachelor's or a master degree, you can work at the back end. That is in the planning phase, in the operations phase, and then there you will have to be in the front end. That is talking about, like for example, back end is you can be a designer or you can be the operations or costing behind sitting at the back. But whereas when it comes to the front end where there is actual production or fabrication, that is to be the, you'll have to be in the field. So in event has many roles and options to choose from, and it is not only, this is very small perspective that I gave you, but depending upon the industry that you are in, where there are some industries in the event also you are in, you get options to choose from. you can have according, but I would definitely say it depends upon your decision, what you feel you are there for. If you are, let's say, very good in analytics, or you are there, like suppose, even if it is you are very good in designing, or if you are there, you are good in communications, you can be in the sales also. If there is an event sales, so you need to get in touch with your prospective clients, or you can be a project manager here, wherein, or you can be a key accounts manager here. You have your own set of corporates, or your own set of your clients, and you handle events for them. So it depends upon your core skill set that you are good in, and you get a role out of it. And similarly, that is something, as I say, a person keeps on evolving and learning. So when you, once you are there in the industry, you think that I have certain, I mean, that is something, my core competency is there, you can definitely go and grow that. Right. And then we come on, once you are there in the industry, you keep on growing. I mean, have an open mind. You learn from everywhere. I mean, if you organize an event, honestly, let's say the event does not go very well, it is not according to the expectations, you learn from it. What went wrong? You have a SWOT analysis of it. And even if it went very well, then also you learn from it. Or even not only the results, you learn from the people around you, you learn from the people that you meet. So you keep on evolving, have an open mind, and then we bring on to the next part, or the last part. That is something, when you say the remuneration or something that you want to grow, it is something, see, that is solely depend on you. When I say this, the reason being is, if you keep on growing, you keep on learning, a college or an institute will give you the knowledge, but that spark has to be from within. Right. I trust me, IITTM gives you the industry insights. You get to learn from your alumni. There are regular sessions that keep on happening. There are guest lectures also that keep on happening. But I would again say that spark, if you have that spark, who's stopping you to participate in events? Go and at least watch those, go at least and learn from them, and then you are there. Right. So a remuneration and everything is something, when you say, I would say you should learn first and then opt for it. Learning is something like, suppose you say, example, for I say I get something, example, I get a package of, let's say, 4 lakh rupees after getting out. Or let's say I get a package of 6 lakh rupees after getting out. That, trust me, that does not really matters. What matters is getting into the organization that you want, or learning in the initial years of your career, because that is something that lays the initial step, and then you grow, and then you achieve. 6 lakhs can easily become 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, or 20 lakhs. So never think about the remuneration first, think about learning. And IITTM is the best place, industry is the best place to get into the any college. And then you always, I would say, people who want to get in the game, be there as volunteers. IITTM gives you opportunities to participate as volunteers. There are people from the industry who will give you the chances, and trust me, people from IITTM would be there in any event agency you go to. So you can definitely say, sir, I am a student of so and so, and I at least give me chance as a volunteer. So you work there, because practical knowledge, when you see things, you learn from it. Right. And then coming on, you said to start a company first or to learn first. See, these are two different things, and it completely depends upon your outlook, how you look at things. Right. If you ask me, if you want at least learn for an year, 2 years, something you learn, you need to know about the trends going on in the industry. There are some senior people who will also teach you. Then there are, you will get a chance to work in events. So first, when you acquire, because this is something, because when I say, when you learn, when we actually work, you are there on ground zero. You actually get that knowledge which is needed. You get that exposure, which is really important. And once you have that know-how, that yes, this is something that I know for, and I have acquired those skills over time, then the world is yours. I mean, you are there, you can roar upon, and you can acquire what you want. Thank you.
Very well explained, sir. It was, very well explained, really informative. And it's actually true. You learn at every step of your life. The future is not certain. You have to learn at every step of life. Even if you plan about your future, it's not certain that it's going to happen the same way, right? So, moving on to the final questions of the day, to you, Dr. Chandrasekhar, sir. What suggestion would you like to give our students applying for this field? Some tips, some tricks to success, to be successful in this particular, field.
Thank you, Mr. Ansh. A small introduction I want to share about myself. I am here as a faculty with IITTM from last 17 years. Before, I was a freelancer working with the various travel agent tour operator and handled many Indians and international tourists. And before, I was a travel agent. So now, with the overall experience of my 29 plus years, I'm happy to talk about the future careers into the travel and tourism industry, especially into the MICE sector. So I want to introduce again a very in a small manner about IITTM. Actually, nowadays offering 3 years graduation program in BBA Tourism and Travel and Master's degree MBA Tourism and Travel Management. It is because of we are following the guidelines norms first of all of UGC University Grant Commission, as well as because we introduced number of subject specialization. MICE is one of them, with the consultation of many tour operators working in entire country. So we have number of activities, conferences also regarding how to update our various subjects, module contents, I mean syllabus, which are very professional enough to give you very good career options in travel and tourism. Now, because of the MICE is I can say, or we can say, it is one of the new sector. But in India, for in reference to the MICE, there are thousands of companies they are handling. Every year there is an increase in infrastructure in India. I can say, like for example, nowadays we have nearly declared 81 domestic airport in India. We have 34 international airport. That means initially when you are going to enter into the industry, when you are joining any of the company, there is a possibility for the student to choose which department of the MICE you wanted to go. So as per my knowledge and experience, the first department, normally travel companies, those who are into the MICE business, they prefer to give you R&D, that is research and development. In this research and development, you have a challenge, means students have a challenge to identify, which normally we cover in our syllabus, what are the destination offering for the MICE business. Because normally they are big cities, very well connected, either by international airline, means big international airport, maybe the domestic airport. Number two, they are connected to many trains with the major cities, so it's easy to assess. That means you can easily reach to that destination. That is another important one. That's why the big cities are for the MICE business. Accordingly, you required a big hotels. That means with a big number of rooms, because normally this business are being handled with the hundreds of people, sometime maybe few thousands. Because of in research and development, you are identifying once again the destination, that means the place, that means the location, how well it is connected, either once again via air, via surface, that may be the rail and road, maybe via the cruises. Even nowadays in Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep also, they have become the MICE convention or conference centers also. And further, because of the activities are for the conferences, meetings, or incentive talk or something like that. But tourism is also there. So, a number of time evening is free. So, tour operator, those who are into the MICE business, they suggest the place, select the place where some activities are available in the evening. For example, some places they offer sound and light shows, some cultural, art and craft melas, art in the evening or late night something, or maybe possible some religious places to visit, because archaeological sites are open between sunrise to sunset. Even after the convention, you have possibility to do certain excursion tour. So this all comes in your research and development. Now the second department in the travel company, that is called the contracting department. That means student, those who are recruited, it is another department in which student, those who have a talent of negotiation. That means you are visiting physically about the place, about the destination. You are identifying how good is the hotel, how good is the convention center, what is the capacity, are they available, what are the facilities inside. Then after the pricing is there. So in the pricing, that means sometime maybe you require, because your number of persons, we call it packs, are less in number or good sufficient in number. What is the period of a year when you want to organize this conference? Because we have all these knowledge and you are prepared with the pricing. Now you are going into the market, which is sales and marketing. So your target place can be within India. You have number of companies. You are not going to contact a family or a person. You are going to contact one firm, one organization, a big, large company, those who are seeking some activity of the mice. That means you have a business in the bulk. So when you are going for sales and marketing, you are prepared with the certain brochures, certain videos, certain informations, pricing, how you can make it available. So this is the third department which I just discussed to you, sales and marketing department. Then after the stage come number 4, that is the operation department. Now the date comes when you are going to operate this tour. That means you are transferring the people from one place to another, and then that maybe once again, which you search already, airline. Sometime maybe you are taking charter plane services. So you know the place from one place to another, you are taking complete plane, I mean aeroplane, that may be a Boeing or Airbus, maybe because of the strength is few hundreds. You are taking from one place to another. You have luxury surface buses, I mean coaches. You are transferring them from the airport to the respective hotels, and you are giving proper schedule. So further day 1, day 2, day 3, that is means the conference days, and you have schedule of your breakfast time, lunch time, dinner time, or activity time, or various sessions. So you are also sharing, because these travel agent tour operator, they are working on behalf of various tour operator. So that means these travel agents, they are very smartly working, very professional enough they are, and they are very well associated once again with the airlines, with the railways, with the surface transport, with the cruises companies. Other side, the place where they are arranging the accommodation, meals. Every day you have new cuisines, new food, new desserts, and means another thing is they are conducting very good sightseeing tour. They are going to keep you fresh also. So once again, this is one of the very important segment field of the career, and this is once again which is growing very fast. And IITTM is trying to give you first hand knowledge when you are joining IITTM. So after 2 semesters, we are sending students to go for 2 month summer internship. So we are taking them, closely associate with these companies, and students are going to see and understand this business first hand knowledge in this period of 6 to 8 weeks time, which we considered as a summer internship. Students are preparing the certain projects also, their knowledge, experiences, etc. And then after also in MBA program, we do provide on the job training, then final placement. So initially, even their starting is very good and their growth is very fast. And within 2 to 3 years of time, their salary structures become very high. And then after students, they are definitely very happy and satisfied after pursuing this course. So once again, this is one of the very growing field of tourism, which is MICE. Everyone has to remember and understand MICE. Number of times the word we repeated, that means meetings, incentives, convention or conferences, exhibitions. So you have challenges to talk, interact, and present your product. You have to discuss, negotiate, and then after you have to go for sales and marketing. So one side, you have a development of the product, identify the product which is available in your country. Number second, you are going to discuss, you are going to talk and negotiation. Third stage, once again, I'm saying and concluding it, sales and marketing, and then after operation. So this depend upon individual in which department you wanted to go. Accordingly, these organizations, they are in very large scale, they are working, and once again, because of their business volume is very high, they are taking care very well their staff also about their salary, about their incentives. Timely they're giving promotions, and people those who are working are also very, very happy and satisfied, because my experience with this institution is 17 years, and my major target is also the MICE and conference companies, because students are very keen interested, they find them very comfortable. They have also chance to understand and travel various airlines, even within country India. They are taking tours to abroad also. So they have opportunity to see the foreign country also. They have opportunity to stay number of 5-star or upper class hotels also. They have a knowledge the various national, international foods also, number of destination places. So overall, their personality glooms. So once again, maybe any questions, IITTM is very happy to accept, because we are with the website also, www.iittm.ac.in. Our email ID is also there, admissions iittm.ac.in, which is very easy. Simple online application is available. You please visit IITTM website. Admission bulletin is there. You can fill. We have 5 locations to study, and we have 35 faculties. We have very rich library, computer lab, and we teachers even are very knowledgeable, I have to say. I mean, because they are with a PhD degree, UGC NAT, they have exposure of international travel. We do invite the experts from the industry. They talk, they share various knowledge informations to the studying student. They can choose the field when they are studying in semester 1 and 2, and then after further they can decide and settle their future career. And we have very big alumni also. Mr. Nidhish, he is also passed out from IITTM. We are happy. He is also very happy today that IITTM invited on this online. He is able to talk and share his knowledge, experience. Thank you to Ansa Segalji, who give us an opportunity for a few questions I can answer. Thank you to Dr. Ankita, because of she shared a lot. She is one of the faculty in Noida taking this important module. So I think over to Mr. Ansji. If any question from the viewer, student, we are very happy to listen, understand, and to answer you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being with us. So, last questions. So, I'll be taking up a question from Saint Anne School student Khushi. So, she was asking, what all do they have to prepare for the entrance exam?
Sir, this question too.
For you, sir.
Sir, can you repeat again? Because a minor interruption was, please. That's why I asked you. Please.
Sure, sure, no problem, sir. So the question was, what all do they have to prepare for the entrance exam?
Oh, it's a very easy. Already, I discussed about IITTM conduct very soft and easy examination, because we need only a general knowledge. General awareness, we can say, or maybe part of English grammar, minor part of reasoning, because we give you 2-hour examination, 2 hour, that means 120 minutes. And there are 100 questions, all are objective type. There is no negative marking. And then after, because the weightage of this written exam for MBA and BBA is 70%. But suppose those who want to go for MBA admissions, they may be from any background, even the student, those who want BBA admission, their subject in 10 plus 2, it means 12, can be any art, science, commerce, any subject. It is open, but we expect 50% as a marks minimum for general category and OBC. And for SC/ST, there is a 5% relaxation. That means 45% is required minimum. Even we are allowing the student, those who are appearing in the 12th exam, because we know till so far exams are not conducted. So we have liberty from our side, from institute side, they can submit their passing mark certificate with the 31st of October. So till they can appear, exam result can be declared, they can submit. And for the MBA admissions, student again from any graduate degree, art, commerce, science, literature, English, history, whatever, and engineering also, many, it is open for every field, but same percentage is expected, 50% total graduation overall percentage for general category, that is you are unreserved, and OBC, 45% for SC/ST candidates also. And IITTM also give the assistance to get scholarship for students, those who are from SC/ST category, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, even for eligible student, those who are in OBC category also, other backward class. So this is very important. We are Government of India, Ministry of Tourism. We are the only institute work under the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Our chairman of Board of Governor is a minister, Government of India, Ministry of Tourism. Our vice chairman is a Secretary Tourism. Our director is President Director sir is a Professor Alok Sharma ji, who is looking after all the 5 centers. I'm happy to share with you, recently we have 2 new camp offices. We have in Bihar, Bodh Gaya. We have in Northeast Shillong also. Even you maybe heard the place called Gulmarg, IISM, Indian Institute of Skiing and Mountaineering. Present director sir, he is a principal, and very successfully this year we conducted study tour for the Gulmarg, which is very famous destination for snow skating and many other activities, skiing and all. And this is for MBA. They are very happy and satisfied. So institute prepared this course structure in a nice way. I mean, you have a knowledge of travel, you have knowledge of various tours, you are preparing the projects, you are going to join summer internship for training, you are going for on-the-job training. We do invite the experts in the classroom session, online session. Our faculty, they complete 100% syllabus, and even in the subjects, nearly 60% are regular papers. Means you are studying general management, you are studying the organizational behavior, you are studying the finance, accounting, as well as we are trying to teach you subjects which are very, very important, necessary of tourism. Maybe you can talk about geography of tourism, maybe you can talk about the management of travel agency and tour operation, tourism transportation, international tourism. We try to give you knowledge of various neighboring countries, because from India, the outbound tourism is also very big business, nearly 26 million in 2019. People from India that travel to abroad, maybe they visited like Sri Lanka, maybe China or Dubai, Uzbekistan, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, etc. So, I mean, first-hand knowledge of these countries also, we try to cover it within the classes. Students, they have very big library, online journals also available, means they are going to update themselves. And normally, industry consider IITTM as the best institution for the recruitment of the freshers. And students' feedback already comes always. Even you will get also in future. Thank you very much. It was really nice, the questions which are being raised by you. We try to give our best possible. And this industry growing very fast, even for foreign tourists coming to India. Their figure is also very big, amazing. 11 million in the year of 2019. So even at present, if again little more I want to add, if you talk about the hotel, in India, every international hotel chain you can find in many of the big cities. So India is changing a lot. I mean, infrastructure is now becoming very strong, and number of new courses are introduced. Our students, those who are joining, even those who are planning, they are also very smart enough. I mean, in the sense of IT. So immediately the industry people, when they are interacting, they immediately find them very suitable, and they are going to give them an opportunity. So from last 12 years, being as a chairman of MBA program and placement officer, we are giving 100% placement. Even in the present year also, we recruited, about 60 students, and many of them are in the pipeline. I mean, number of companies, they give their consent, because little this time, you all understand, is very hard. So within few days of time, something will be changed, and again industry will be open. So then after, new opportunities, new jobs will come in travel and tourism industry. So at present, saturation is very, very far. We cannot talk about saturation. This is the beginning of the industry. Thank you very much again to you, sir. It is over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And it was very well explained, everything. So I'll be taking the last question for the day, and it is for you, Ankita ma'am. So the students are asking, can they opt for the centers themselves, or it will be allotted by the institution only?
While filling the admission form, they can opt for the centers, and they have the choice of opting for center 1, center 2, center 3. And when they have their results with their entrance exam and GDPI, a merit is made. So according to the merit, the center of their option, they have chosen, is given. And even if they don't get a center of their choosing, they can obviously ask for a transfer later on. So that is not a problem at all.
Well, the
Thank you.
clock is ticking fast, and it is time to conclude our session now. I really like the energy of our session today. Sirs and ma'ams, I sincere thank you for spending your time, energy, and sharing your perspectives here with us. I am positive that today's session is valuable for both parents and students alike. A big shout out to all our viewers who have joined our session via Facebook and other social media platforms. Thank you all for posting your queries and for your love and support. Take care, stay healthy, and remember to make your career by choice and not by chance. Bye bye.
Thank you very much to all of you,
Thank
to
you.
all the participants. Namaskar from the
Thank
IITTM
you.
Gwalior. Please do visit IITTM website. An important request to all of you: please take care of your health because of the corona, whatever possible precautions. Thank you. Namaskar. Good day.
Thank you, everyone.